Chris Guthrie here from MakeMoneyOnTheInternet.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about a website that I recently purchased called CopycatCrafts.com, and I'm going to be discussing in the first of a series of case studies about improving the income based on the existing traffic that this website already receives. So this is the website as it is right now, CopycatCrafts.com. You can go check it out. It's a crafting website that I purchased, and you can see there's just a few different advertising slots right now. There's just the 728 by 90 banner up here on the top, and over here on the sidebar there's a 300 by 250 block as well. Now I'm using a company called Rivet Media. It's rivetmedia.com to supply both these, but it looks like they use AdSense as a backfill in case there aren't any advertisers that are promoting them currently. So in any case, these are the two main advertising sources, and knowing just these two things, I know there's a lot of room to either add in more advertising or at least just find better ways to implement it into the content. So let me show you an example of a blog post. So here you can see the blog post has advertising over here on the side, but there is no advertising in line with the content. Now one ad could be just right beneath the title of this blog post, or the title of this blog post, maybe some AdSense or something, or at the very least using Chitika. Maybe Chitika will only supply ads if it's through a search result, so those would most likely be people that weren't the regular returning readers, so it wouldn't really affect the regular readers that would be maybe upset by the fact that they see additional advertising, but at the same time it would target the people that are coming through search engines, which are most often the people that are more likely to click ads. So that'd be one spot to put it. The other thing too is that when you look through most of these blog posts, there are no affiliate links within the content of the blog posts. Now some of these that don't get as much traffic, that's fine, but the blog posts that are more catered to, say, a specific type of product, now these ones would work well to use Amazon's affiliate program to mention different products that were in use of whatever type of craft that's mentioned. So if we're talking about some type of a craft and there are certain types of supplies that people would buy to do that, now I could link to them using the description in here. And the other thing too is that since it's crafting, I could probably also use other affiliate programs that are more catered to companies that actually sell more crafting style supplies, maybe through Commission Junction, that's cj.com. They might have more direct deals with companies like Michaels or something. I'm still need to look into that though. The other thing too is that, again, talking about just the content, there is no in-text advertising. I've had quite a good results from using Vibrant Media on some of my other websites in the past. So another thing I can test is just in-text advertising to see if I can generate some additional income through in-text advertising. Conterra is another one which I've used before and they're alright, and Infolinks is another company, although I didn't have as good results with them. But again, anytime you use any type of advertising method on any niche, it's important to do testing and optimizing with different companies, even if one company outperformed another on another niche, because you never know what types of advertisers that they have working for them. Conterra, for example, could have more crafting style websites to be willing to pay a better premium, or at least they would have better relevant ads, whereas maybe Vibrant Media wouldn't. So it's something that you always want to test, and so that's another thing that I was going to consider doing. The other thing too that I mentioned is using the AdSense or any other types of cost per click advertising in more locations. Another good location could be just beneath or above these types of related posts, or even just down here at the bottom. One thing I found is that if people get to the bottom of the content they finish reading and there is no link for them to click, if you present them with an ad unit at the bottom, then they might just click through there to get the answer for whatever they might have been searching for. Now another thing too is that crafting community is huge, very diverse, and there's a lot of people that are really excited about it. Obviously it's a demographic that's more primarily focused on women, and since I'm a man and kind of not as into crafting. My wife is into it, so I can always pick her brain. But one thing I can do too is contact some of these crafting companies to see if they can do any type of private advertising deals, or at the very least doing some type of a joint promotion, even if it were some type of a giveaway. Giveaways are huge because crafters, especially if you're in a do-it-yourself niche, they're always looking to do things in less expensive manner. So if you can do some type of promotion with giveaways, that's another great way to generate more traffic for the site. And again, even if it was a private ad deal, that'd be potentially getting me a higher eCPM rate than I'd be getting from any other banner source or from AdSense. The other thing too is that on any website that you own, if you're using a stat tracking program such as Google Analytics, you can go into Google Analytics and analyze the highest traffic pages that you're getting. Now I won't do that for this site just because I'll save that for another topic, but any site that you run, you'll find that you have certain pieces of content that get the most traffic. And if you simply wrote those blog posts or put up that content and haven't done anything since then, you're making a grave mistake, because you could be getting a lot more money from these websites if you're or a lot more money from these articles if you've specifically tried to add in advertising more tailored to that article. So if it's, say, again, using the physical product example, say it's a really, really popular post about some type of physical product, then I could simply add in affiliate links, etc., and just better optimize that page for advertising and make more money. I do this all the time on other sites that I own, and you can always find quite a bit of additional income just by doing that, and it doesn't take a lot of work. So again, these are all just very simple things that take a little bit of time, and obviously you want to do a lot of testing to see what will make you the most money. Things I look for when I'm testing, either adding in more aggressive AdSense or our advertising rather, is to see the bounce rate. What I'll do is test for over a month's period to see if the bounce rate has diminished or increased based on my testing. So if finding out whether or not the AdSense that I've added into a more aggressive location causes people to be more annoyed and leave more quickly, and then whether or not that translates to lower subscriber numbers here through my newsletter. And then that way too you can kind of analyze and determine whether or not adding in more advertising is worth it for the potential gain. The other thing too that I didn't mention is that the newsletter. That's something that is currently growing pretty well. I know it has over 1,000 newsletter subscribers, but it currently just sends out a weekly summary of the latest blog post, and these kind of come in these 4 primary categories. And so if since there's nothing really being optimized there or monetized, there's a potential for either creating a product about crafting or just selling other products or services that are related to crafting that the audience might find useful. So there's quite a few different things that can be done to this site. And when I'm talking about buying websites and looking for potential, this is kind of an example. I know that the way the advertising is now, it's very clean, and it's kind of built more from the perspective of really focusing in on the content of the site and less so on the actual advertising. I know the original owner of the site did that intentionally and didn't really want to focus on monetizing it super fast. So that's always something, again, that you want to bounce and play with. But hopefully this will help you in deciding kind of what you can do to apply to your own websites and also in the websites that you might be looking to purchase. If you want to find out more about the things that I do and how I make my money, go to makemoneyontheinternet.com, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have there as well. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.